Hello, Ping. Oh, here we go. One, two,
Pin. Make
three,
sure you pronounce my name right.
one. Huh?
Pin.
Pen.
Pin.
Hello, Pen. How are you?
Great.
Thank you for joining me here today on this conversation.
Oh, I'm so delighted that you invited me to speak today.
We're having conversations with women, and we're celebrating Women's History Month. And I ask each woman as we start our conversation, what are three words that would define you? What are three words that would define you?
Three words I think for me is probably authenticity. I think that people say that I'm very authentic. I know who I am. Two would be I'm just a very passionate person about what I do. I put passion into everything that I do. Three is probably that I'm a family person. Family is very important to me, so that's probably the three things I think.
Well, that's great. When you talk about passion right now in your life, I know that you're a community leader, you're involved in the county here in Charlotte.
Sure,
We'll
yes.
talk about that later, but what is your passion right now? What do you feel most motivated about?
What my passion right now, and it's been for a while. I don't think I've changed for at least 10, 15 years or so, but it's about giving a voice to the vulnerable population. That's what I'm about. That's what I'm passionate about. That's what I do. That's what I breathe. That's my day-to-day life livelihood, pretty much. It's about making sure that everyone has the opportunity to be heard, and whether it's people that are in poverty, the homeless, the people of color, particular women, so on. So that's what I'm about. It's giving a voice to those individuals don't have the opportunities as much as they should be.
So when we talk about passion and the voice is so important because there's so many people that we need to lead, but they have to be in the room, but sometimes they physically can't be there. So you being part of that conversation and bringing their needs and their passions, or I know that you work very hard for the county. So I know
Yes.
that you are a voice for many women and many people that don't have a voice and can't be having a seat at the table, as they call it, but you're there. So I
Yes.
appreciate you and I thank you for that,
Oh,
truly.
thank you.
So we talk about passion, and women always talk about what makes them happy. We're very, we try to strive to the next level. What makes you happy on a daily basis or just in general?
Yeah, general. Couple of things. What makes me happy is being with my dog and my husband, my family. I
What kind
mean,
of dog do you have?
I have an Italian Greyhound. He is 17 and a half. He will be 18
Wow.
soon. And he's just the love of our lives. He's pretty much, I don't have any children, so he's pretty much my child.
Hmm.
So it is just the best thing, and it's conditional love that I get from him. My husband and I, that's what we focus on. Our lives, it's pretty much it's circle around him. So
He's a big dog, right?
no, it's a miniature greyhound. It's
A miniature greyhound.
he's
Oh,
an
okay. Because
Italian
when I think
greyhound.
a greyhound dog, they're huge.
No, no, this is a little tiny greyhound. He's like 11 pounds.
Oh my God, he must be adorable. What color is he?
Gray and white.
Wow, wow. I have a miniature schnauzer. What's your
Oh
dog's
well.
name?
His name is Picasso.
Picasso. Okay, Italian, right?
Yes, my husband named him Picasso. I had another one. His name is Monet.
Oh my gosh.
5 years ago.
So why is that? Do you like art? Is that something that you find yourself drawn to?
Yes, yes. And of course, my dog. Spending time with my family, with my husband, my parent, my mother, my nieces and nephew. That's what makes me happy.
Wow, wonderful. We talk about parents and family and even the dog. What's your, I guess, your proudest moment when we talk about your life, and if you had to
Yeah.
share that, what's your proudest moment?
For me, it's probably getting my master's degree in public administration. Part of that is for my family. I'm the first college graduate, and in that, my family came to the United States as refugees. We came as refugees to this country, and part of the reason for coming here is for us to have a better education. My parents really wanted us to have a better education. For me to be able to get a college degree and to make the parents proud and myself proud. I think that's really what I feel really good about what I have accomplished. The other things are great, but getting that degree is the purpose of us being in this country.
Yeah. And one of the things I always tell the students that I work with and everybody, you can't take away a degree. You could take away anything in your life, but once you have education, that's yours forever.
That's right. That's right.
So what
Very happy about
were
that.
you like a kid? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I'm probably very different from today. As a child, can you believe it? I'm very, very shy.
Really? No, I know you still sometimes seem to be shy.
I'm a very shy, very gullible. That's one thing that people say. You're so gullible, so innocent. So you know, it is what it is, right? So, but you know, I am just so. It's just the fact that I just think everybody's good. It's just one of those things that I have still have ingrained in me. I see good in everybody, you know, regardless of who they are and who they are. You know, at that when I was still a child. So it's just the fact that. I don't know. I mean, I know that that's not always true today, that not everyone's, you know, are innocent and so on. But I felt that way when I was growing up. And, you know, it's part of who I am or who I was and who I am still.
Yeah. So, you know, we know you as a child. So as an adult, what do you bring forward in your life? What's the most valuable thing? You mentioned your passion about the dogs, your family, your background, that you're still shy. So what's the most valuable thing in your life right now?
The most valuable thing in life right now. I think just to continue doing what I'm doing is, you know, I'm trying to create a better society for whether it's for our county employees, whether it's community, is to bring that equality and equity to everyone in this community. So whether it's women, the immigrant community, the refugee community, whether it's our current employees, that's what I'm about. That's very much who I am.
You know, you do such a great job here in Charlotte. If you had any place in the world to live, where else would you live?
A couple of places. I can't choose one, so I would choose two places. One would be Paris, France. Love that.
Why Paris?
I love the French culture for whatever reason. It's just not even just Paris, but maybe just France, the whole France as a country total. So whether it's in Nice or Cannes or wherever, where it's just a whole culture that I feel drawn to for whatever reason. So Paris, France would be one of the places. The other one is I really something about the Key West, what draws me to it. There's something about Key West that just intrigued me, that I've been there so many times, and I think it's a great place to be.
I love Key West too. I love Key West very much. We're coming to a close to our conversation. There's a couple of things I want to ask you. For young men or men of this world, if you had to share 3 nuggets of wisdom, what would they be?
3 nuggets of wisdom to women or men?
To a man, or young men or men in general.
About women or just?
About women,
women. I would say that one is tell the truth. Don't lie. Women can see through. So young men, if you don't try to lie to women, tell the truth. The truth will get you a better place. The other one is just be respectful to everyone. Whether you agree or disagree with them, be respectful to women. And the other thing is be patient with women. We have a lot of passion, a lot of ideas. So be patient with us. The fact that because we want to rule the world, so in that be patient because we're so passionate. We have so many ideas.
Want to rule the world. We always say that, and we have such a long history of women struggling for the vote and other things, and we always have to reflect on the shoulders that we stand on. Who do you see in your mind's eye when you look back? Who made you who you are today? What woman stands out in your mind?
It's really hard just to pick a one woman, so I'll pick a couple. One is my mother. My mother, she is so wisdom. She has so much wisdom in her. She's illiterate. She doesn't read or write in any language. She only knows how to sign her name in English. So, but she can do anything. She's an entrepreneur. She's a
Ooh.
business owner, and back in our country and in the United States. So, so my mother is one of the person. The other one is my first true manager when I graduated from college. Um, it's Edith Blydenberg. She's the organization development director, training director for the city of Charlotte.
Ooh.
And she was pretty much the one that says, you're my prodigy. I'm going to give you every, she pretty much gave me the opportunities. She opened a lot of doors for me, gave me the time to develop my skill to be a leader. So those two are probably two individuals that I speak highly of.
You said two things that really hit me right home with what we talk about all the time. We need to not only mentor and support, but open doors. So sponsor a person when they're moving
That's
forward,
right.
whether men or women, young people of today, either people in the workplace. There are so many people changing jobs, being downsized, that sometimes we need to reach out and just help somebody else. So I commend that person that you talked about. I commend moms because we stand on their shoulders.
That's right. That's
Um,
right.
so we talk about the past. Now I want to bring you to the future before we end our conversation. What nuggets of wisdom would you give to women of the future or women of tomorrow?
Yes, a couple of thoughts that I have about that. I think one of the things that I would encourage women to do is have the courage to speak up on issues that matters to them. I think that's so important that, whether it's in not the right time or whatever it is, speaking up what matters to you. And I would encourage every woman to do that. The second thing I think is be yourself, be authentic, be yourself. And you know what? If people don't like who you are, so what? Be it. I have not changed who I am. I might not be the most polished person, the most dynamic, and so on, but I'm myself. I am who I am, and I'm not going to change just to fit in. So whether it gets me nowhere or gets me somewhere, it doesn't matter. Just be yourself, because you being yourself, that means that you're vulnerable, that you see people equal to you, that it's about others, not about you.
Wow, that's impactful. Authenticity is very important these days, having a voice. I know that you are instrumental, along with others that you always give credit to. I know it's never easy to do things by yourself. You are like a Pied Piper and get other people involved. But you held the Charlotte International Women's Day, March 8th, every year. I
Yes,
think it's the fourth year. Is that correct?
that's correct. That's correct.
So I commend you for that. Thank you very much for leading that. Also, tell us a little bit about what your day-to-day, what do you do for the city, for the county?
Yeah, so I serve as the diversity, well, I think we changed the title a little bit there, equity and inclusion manager, or chief equity officer, if you can see it in that manner. So I've been in that role for about a year and a half. So I've been doing diversity and inclusion work for over 20 years, but this is sort of a new role for me. It's kind of changing the focus of the diversity and inclusion work to around equity. So my day-to-day work is working with people without the organization to review our policy procedures, to see if our policy procedure creating inequities, what tackling one policy at a time, trying to figure out what our action steps going to be over the next couple of years, develop our strategic plan for our equity and inclusion work. So that's my work every day is speaking to leaders about the importance of understanding history, understanding how inequity how government in particular has created inequities in our policies, our housing code, our educational system, and so on. So educating people around what has created the inequities in our community and in our government.
So we talked about you, and I'm so happy to have this conversation with you. Where's your family from?
My family's from Laos, from Southeast Asia. We're from Laos, so we came to the United States almost 40 years. So it'll be 40 years in November, and we came as refugee. We fled from the end of the Vietnam War. We were involved in that as well. Laos was part of that. Came to United States as refugees.
40
Years.
years ago.
This is our
Wow.
home. This
Wow,
is our
40.
home.
Yeah, this is it. So you're Southern
Yes.
now.
Yes, I am Southern. People always say, "Oh, what is that?" I can't picture how, you have that little accent. Yeah, it's a combination of Laotian and Southern accent combined. So there you go.
They say after 10 years in Charlotte, you're a Charlottean. I know
Yes.
that I've been here 20 years and I still have a New York accent. When
Oh
people
yeah.
ask me where am I from, I say from Charlotte. They go, and I have
No.
to give a little bit more. But,
Yes.
thank you for having the conversation with me today. You're a delight to know. I've known you for many years. Thank you for the work you do in the community, at the county, representing women. And, I know that we're going to hear much more from you in years to come.
Well, thank you so much, Pat.